Imagine being rejected by society since birth and being denied access to certain human rights because of your status in the community. Well, that's the reality facing millions of so-called untouchables in India. Although the Indian government has been fighting prejudice against them, it still continues to this day. They are considered the original inhabitants of coastal Karnataka in South India. They are called upon by their community to beat ceremonial drums, to race and guard water buffalo for the upper caste. They are the Koragas, one among the many untouchable communities in India. Literally outcasts of society, they live on the edge of the forests in segregated communities, brought up to believe that they are inferior. India's 170 million untouchables can face a lifetime of abuse, but slowly their status is changing. Basri is an untouchable. She and her family are illiterate and desperately poor.
It is our bad luck that our community has been cursed for such a long time.
Basri.
Oh, and I gotta interject on this video because that says a lot right there. Our community has been cursed for a long time. Go back to planet.
His granddaughter Jaya was sexually abused by an upper caste man, a fact she finds sad.
Today, the men folk are not hesitant to touch us as they wish, but the women would not come near us. Sometimes I can't resist asking, do worms grow in our bodies?
Hindus place people into 4 castes based on how they lived their past lives. At the top are the Brahmins, the priests and the scholars, and then the Shastriyas, the rulers and soldiers. Below them are the Vaishyas, the merchants and traders, and then the Sudras, the laborers. The untouchables, considered impure and unclean, are unworthy to belong to any caste. By tradition, they are the lowliest of the low. But they do have their champions. For nearly 2 decades, Keshav Koteshwar, an upper caste man, has been struggling to end the discrimination against untouchables. At a time when few dared to, he entered the community. His goal, to change attitudes in the entrenched Indian caste system, including a custom that the Koragas were expected to eat other people's scraps.
Earlier,
the Koraga used to go to the marriage halls and collect leftover food that was thrown there. They dry them like this and stored them in a box. During the rainy season, they recook the food and consume it.
Untouchables also have a difficult time finding work.
Members of the Koraga are not given decent jobs. They are given only cleaning jobs in hotels and hospitals.
Historically, there have been many attempts to eradicate untouchability. The most famous is the hunger strike led by Mohandas Gandhi in 1932. In 1955, the Indian Parliament passed legislation outlawing untouchability. Today, national and state governments have a minimum quota of jobs set aside for untouchables. But these are not always enforced, says Shukra, a Koraga working part-time in a government hospital.
People promise that there are jobs reserved for the local community people, but no one is bothered. I am not blaming the government, but that is the reality.
For generations, the Koragas have accepted the limitations placed.
But no one is bothered. I am not blaming the government, but that is the reality.
For generations.
Come on, man. You mean to tell me these don't look like little Israelite babies, man? Come on, man.
The Koragas have accepted the limitations placed on them, following the traditional beliefs and practices dictated by the caste system without question. Shrida explains.
In our village, we are not allowed into the house of rich families. We feel sad, but we accept it.
Another one. See, do he look like a regular Indian? Look. Oh, man. Israel has a certain look, man. Israel has a certain glow about him.
Families think that we are from the lower class.
In 1993, Keshev set up Spurti, a residential school for the Koraga kids, to teach them about equal rights and to stand up against such feudal customs. But people in the upper caste were reluctant to release them from work to go to school.
When we first started enrolling the Koraga kids, they asked me if my father would work in their houses if the kids are gone.
Only 10 students were enrolled in the first year. But Keshev persisted. He began staging hunger strikes and peaceful protest to draw attention to the plight of the Koragas. He led a movement to collect alms from home to home, village to village, to raise funds to support the children.
All right, I'm going to stop right there. Giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Also salutations to all the Akim out there that's pushing this truth. And also shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect. Now, this video is 17 years ago. Which I watched some of this document, probably not exactly this one, but another one before. But this proves, Israel is scattered amongst all the nations, right? And the one lady in this video, she even mentioned, she said, look, it's like we are cursed forever, in so many words. I'm not quoting it the right way, but she mentioned being cursed. And that's how you know who the Israelites are. Because the Lord said all these curses shall what come upon you. All right, if you don't serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, it says Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes which I commanded thee this day, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, right? So that's how we know who Israel is, man. Okay, because of the curses, all right? The way they're treated, all right, in society, So when you got these dudes talking about all nations this and all, no, Israel is scattered amongst all nations, as the scriptures say. And you can tell who Israel is, like I said, through the curses, man, and that's something you just can't get around. So let's hit some of these other scriptures. Matter of fact, hold on, because I want to bring this out too. Matter of fact, I'll just go to chat since I already had it or whatever. All right. Because I posted Isaiah 49:22. Matter of fact, let me read it right here first. Isaiah 49:22. Hold on. Then we'll go to chat. And pretty much what Israel is at, that's how Israel is living, They're at the bottom of the barrel, man. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles and set up a standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. All right. It says, and kings shall be their nursing fathers, and their queens thou nursing mothers, and they shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me, right? So I put that scripture in Chat GPT, right? Even Chat GPT got more sense than these niggas, all right? that's trying to save all nations. Basically, these dudes, they don't understand the prophecies, you know? When they see all nations, right, or they see Gentiles, right, they don't know how to distinguish, you know, Gentiles, you know? Now it says, Isaiah 42, 49 and 22 breakdown. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles. And it says, God is signaling and calling Gentile nations. Lift up my hand means God is about to act and command a signal to set up a standard to the people. But let's get to the point, right? And it goes into, it says, they shall bring my sons and daughters in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon thy shoulders. It says the Gentiles will support and assist and help gather Israel, right? Because like you said, Israel is scattered, or what? Israel is scattered amongst all these nations. This can point to the restoration of Israel, nations aiding to return the elevation of God's people, a reversal of past oppression. Now nations serve and carry them. Look at that, man. Now let's go to Isaiah. All right. Look, chat be kind of going in too. I ain't hold you up. Right, chat even give it another he even go into Zechariah. 10 men of all nations shall take hold of a skirt of him that is take hold of a skirt of him that is a Jew. Nations seek to align themselves with Israel, but that's talking about an Israelite, you know. But it says right here, God's reversing Israel's suffering. Okay. So let's go to Isaiah 66. The only way you can align with the Israelite, again, unless what? You're an Israelite. Because you're not going to grab the skirt of an Israelite. That's not going to happen. Especially in that day. You know? You'll get your damn hand chopped off touching the Israelite. Touching royalty. It says, Isaiah 66 and 19, I will set an enzyme among them, and I will send those that escape into them into the nations, to Tarshish, to Pul, to Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal, to Javan, to the isles afar off, that have not heard of my fame, neither have seen my glory. They shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. Same thing right here. And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto the Lord out of all nations. You see, upon horses and chariots, and in litters, upon mules, upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, saith the Lord, as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of the Lord. Listen to this. And I will also take of them for priests and for Levites, saith the Lord. Prove that what? Israel's going to come out of all these nations, right? And what? They're going to be priests, or what? Levites, as the scriptures say. All right? They're going to become holy unto the Lord. Now, let's hit a couple more scriptures, man. Hey, you can't get around that right there, man. You can't get around that. And I got a couple more scriptures lined up. Go to the book of Tobit real quick. I don't have these, in the Pacific order, but they all gonna hit. Same thing. Tobit 13 and 5. And he will scourge us for our iniquities, and will have mercy again. He will gather us out of all nations, among whom he have scattered us. You see, can't get around that. Let's go to Amos 9 and 9. Anybody teaching anything else, man, you just a sellout, man. Amos 9 and 9. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not least a grain fall upon the earth. Let's read that again. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel, like it says, right? The Lord, he's going to what? set up a signal amongst the Gentiles, and what? They're going to bring your sons and your daughters. Okay? I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the seas, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth, man. So the Lord, hey, he gonna gather Israel, man, all right, from all these nations. And then it says this: all the sinners of our people shall die by the sword, which say evil shall not overtake nor prevent them. Let's grab one more scripture. Matthew 25 and 32. Let's start from 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall he gather all nations. Right? He gonna gather all nations. He shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from his goats. Right? And who's the sheep? All right, so he gonna pick amongst all these nations. He gonna say, all right, those are goats, but these are what? The lost sheep of the house of Israel. And shall separate them from one from another, and the shepherd, as a shepherd, divideth his sheep from his goats, and he shall set the sheep on the right hand, but the goats on the left, right? And that's gonna be what? 2/3 of Israel, and guess what? These heathens, man. All right. Those are the ones that's going to go on the left, man. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom, prepare from you for the foundation of earth, before the foundation of the earth, man. Right? That's why when Yahweh Shai came back, right? The apostles asked him a question. They said, what? Is it time for you? It's time for you to restore the kingdom of Israel, man. You see? Because they thought it was that time. All right? But guess what? It's about to take place now, man. Just a couple more prophecies, man. And we're going to see this play out, man. Hey, it's going to be a great thing to see this play out. The Lord bringing in the scatter, from amongst these heathens. Okay? So with that, give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders of GMS. Also salutations to all the Akim out there that's pushing this truth. And also shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect. Peace.